As you can see, the clouds are not happy right now. Everything is done in the barn. It's just time to close up the barn now. Welcome to today's vlog, you guys. So as you can see on the title of this video, I feel like I have deja vu because I don't feel like that long ago we were prepping for Hurricane Ian, and now we are prepping for Hurricane IDALIA, I think. I don't know. Spelled really weird. IDALIA. And at the time that I'm filming this, it's technically still a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. And technically, its path is very much north to me. Well, about 2 hours north of me when I'm filming this. But that's the same thing that happened with Ian. They did not think it was going to hit us. And then basically last minute, it did. And it hit us really badly in my whole entire county. And the thing is we're all still kind of rebuilding. So, but luckily we've done so much work to the farm that pretty much everything's been rebuilt around here. But as you guys know, I always like to prepare early for these storms, even if they're tropical storms, because it's not just me and Mike, it's all of our animals included. So we like to make sure that everything is over prepared, you know, for worst case scenario. And of course, best case scenario, we prepared for nothing, and I would rather that. So no big deal on that end, but we do need to prepare. And the first thing that we have to do today, because it's about 2 days out from us, is we need to go make sure we have enough supplies. We stopped buying hay in bulk pretty much right after last Hurricane Ian because it was no longer feasible with pricing, and everything changed after that hurricane. So we actually need to go to our local feed store and get hay, and we need to go to Tractor Supply, make sure that we have enough feed for everybody, so the chickens, pigs, horses, just so that if we do lose power for a bit and the feed stores aren't open, that's pretty much why we have to make sure that we have a bunch of feed. Just like I said, over prepared. And if we are over prepared, we will still continue to use that feed. It's not like we're buying out the whole store, but we just want to make sure that we have enough supplies for our animals and we can get through a couple days if the storm does take a turn and we are without power. So today is supply prep. Tomorrow is actual like animal property prep. And then that night is pretty much when the storm is supposed to come. So the only difference this time is I'm about 33 weeks pregnant. So fun stuff to add to the mix. So without further ado, we need to get going. We have a lot of places to go in a little amount of time. And as you guys can see, it's already pretty cloudy and such, and a lot gloomier already. And it's only like 4:30. So our first stop is hay. So we're getting 10 bales of hay, and we are also getting shavings from here. And we're just gonna actually wrap it up with a tarp today, just because as you guys saw, it's pretty gloomy and I don't want anything to get wet, especially since it's gonna be staying in the barn, and we will be closing down the barn. So that's kind of when moisture will get trapped in it. So just making sure that we're tarping it up. Now that we have all of our shavings and our hay, it's time to go over to Tractor Supply. We made it to Tractor Supply for our feed. Hopefully they have what we need, because lately their supply has not been well. They have lots of senior feed, so we're gonna get 4 or 5 senior feeds. That's perfect. It's like a brick. Chicken feed time. We're just gonna get a bag to last them forever. The cart is filling. Dog food. We're not out of dog food, but again, just in case. Good job. Last thing we need is pig food. We got all of our feed. Now it's time to put it in the truck, or well, my car actually, in my car today. Came in at a whopping $283 for all of this feed. Feed is so expensive these days. We did get a bunch of stuff. So now poor Mike has to load it all by himself. So now that we have all of our feed and our hay and shavings and such, feeling pretty good on this end. We actually, on like a more personal supply level, we got, before this became like a big thing, I needed to re-up on some of my supplies anyway, so I actually went to Sam's last week. I got a case of water and I got paper towels. We already had a bunch of toilet paper, so I didn't need to get that, but I'm feeling pretty good on like my essentials. So we are headed back home. Need to unload everything and need to prep the barn just a little bit. Most of that prep will happen tomorrow, but like in the barn with the animals, we're just gonna be prepping like the surroundings of the barn, like in the barn. And then tomorrow will be more of like the busy day where we bring all the animals into the barn that are gonna go in the barn. Thinking the goats are gonna go in the barn. We're just trying to play it by ear right now. a little bit because we're not really sure when the storm is like even making landfall. Every hour it just keeps getting shifted because we're still like 48 hours away. So yeah, so tomorrow will be more of like crunch time because in the like middle of the night going into the next day after tomorrow night, if that makes sense, is when I guess the storm is coming. So we'll see, but I will see you guys when we get back to the farm. We just got back home and we need to unload everything. Hi, Dinky. Dinky, you can't take your mask off. Look at this. See, this is why. This one's been so good. Tiny little thing right there. No, you'll be in the barn for the next couple days, so you won't have a chance to not take your mask off. Basically, her mask comes off when she's around Cash. That's the problem. She's not the problem. She's a good girl. Cash is the reason for her mask not being on. Anyways, we just got home and we need to unload everything that we got, all of our supplies, and get them in the barn. So we brought the hay in and the bedding because we are going to clean the stalls and re-put new bedding in there for them. They're gonna need some fresh bedding just because we aren't gonna be letting them out for like a day or so, maybe more. So they'll love this. We're gonna give them a lot of hay like normal when they're stuck in their stalls because they won't be able to graze because they're gonna be in their stalls. My barn is kind of messy right now in the alleyway just because the chickens go in here and mess it up. But I'm going to report back that without the mats we've taken out, it stays much cleaner. I know this looks obviously not very clean, but it has been a little bit since I've actually sweeped it and it still looks really good. So Mike's getting a start on the stalls and I'm gonna be right behind him helping him so we can get these done and then filled up with new bedding. All the stalls are set up. I actually gave everyone their hay and their feed in here because we're about to bring everyone in. Nothing's happening tonight, so everyone will be in like normal. It's actually very humid. Hi, Trigger. You're so cute. He's ready to come in. He heard the grain drop. But all the stalls are now nice and ready with new bedding for the storm so that they can be in here for a couple days if needed, if it gets super flooded. But Mike went to go get them Cashie's stall and then Dinky right now because June isn't here still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that because the barn that she's in is actually a cement barn, so that barn is just as fine as my barn, and if it's nothing, the storm's nothing, I obviously want to keep her there so that she can continue on with her training. All right, I'm gonna lock all these up. And tomorrow will be more so the busy day with prepping these guys, but I'm glad that we got this initial stuff done and now we just have to focus on just them tomorrow and not their sleeping arrangements. We just replaced some of the shavings in these little chicks that we have right here. We're about to refill their water and their feed, but they'll stay in the barn for the hurricane just because obviously that's where they are, so that's where they're gonna stay. My other chickens pretty much just do whatever they want. They don't go to the coop most days, so tomorrow when we are prepping all of the animals, there's some more chickens. We'll have to wrangle up all of our chickens and get them back into the coop because last time the coop was a safe place for them. And I don't want them coming out and wandering during the storm and get blown away. The hay will stay here for today. We just need to clean up this area a bit tomorrow. And this is where the hay will end up going. We do have quite a bit of a hay mess over here, but no big deal for now. The chickens got their fresh water and we're just gonna give them feed and we are pretty much done for barn prep tonight. There's not really much left to do. And the weather is so humid today, so I'm sweating bullets, but the goats will bring over here tomorrow too. We'll put them in the barn. Pigs are gonna stay where they are because they were perfectly fine where they were last time, but that's kind of the game plan. Everyone in the barn, just like last time. Goats. It's not feeling as overwhelming this time because I feel like we just did it even though it was almost a year ago, but I just feel like it just happened, so not as bad. And technically right now when I'm doing this, it's not overwhelming because it's not even like a hurricane yet at this point. It's predicted to be one, but it's not one yet, and it's not coming from my house directly, but neither was the last one, so there's that. So it's day 2 of our prep, technically like the final day because the storm is happening like tonight. So we are actually getting a little bit of an earlier start on this because it's already starting to rain, and we don't want to like last minute be doing this in the rain because we're already doing it in the rain. So we'd rather last minute not do it in the rain. So basically we just are letting the horses in and everything a bit earlier. Yeah, and closing the barn down so it doesn't get completely flooded in there from like sideways and stuff with the doors open. So we have a bunch to do, but not as bad or like huge of prep as the last storm. So technically it's not even, I guess, yet a hurricane just yet. It's still in the Gulf. We just want to be prepared. When you have animals, it's like a whole new set of preparations. And honestly, when you live in Florida, it's just better to be prepared and, you know, plan for the worst but hope for the best. So let's get on with day 2 of this prep. So we've pretty much got a lot of like the debris stuff that can fly around. We just had these buckets up here. I was grabbing those. At our farm, there's buckets everywhere. There's a little scoop right there too. Literally there's buckets everywhere all the time. It just happens. It's just how it goes. So
the bucket farm.
Yes, the bucket farm.
Sometimes you bring them up here and then you
tell us.
You know you should bring them to the barn, but sometimes you're just like, bucket.
Wow. Is this like an advertisement for krill? You have a krill hat on, a krill shirt on. What's going on? I did. You said bucket. Sorry, but I was so distracted by your whole ensemble of just repping krill right now.
I work there.
Yeah, right. All right. Anyways, also interesting. So this line has been so low for so long. Actually, from Ian, it got lowered, and then when we were filling our pool, like the pool truck kind of hit it. So it's been so low. It's been dangerous, and that's why our trailer is always up here, because it was so low that the trailer couldn't fit under the line. And I've been begging our electric company to come fix it, and then finally I got through to them yesterday and I was like, hey, I'm nervous that this hurricane's gonna make this even worse, so can you please come and fix it? And they finally did. They finally came and fixed it, so super excited. This is like the first time in literally like 6 months we've been able to even bring like Mike's truck back here this far. Since we're starting early, the only issue that I'm thinking that we might have is with the chickens, is getting them all captured and whatnot, so we'll see how that goes. But as you can see, the clouds are not happy right now. So we just cleaned all of the stalls. It started to rain again. We need to get all of these windows closed so that when it comes in like sideways, that it doesn't make everything wet in here. We're filling up all the waters now. Mike's actually working on the goats one because we're gonna get all the goats in here, because honestly, when it rains, the goats do not like to be out in the rain at all. So even just getting them over to the barn might be a little bit of a process, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill up all the waters now. Everything is pretty much ready. I mean, waters are filled. We have this stall ready for the goats. We're gonna get the goats in just a second, but we're gonna close all of our Dutch door like windows, the tops, get them all locked. So we're going out to the front first. I'm back inside the actual barn because now I have to latch them from the inside. Hello.
Good.
One done. All the windows are shut in the barn. Got a lot darker, but I'm glad this part's done. Now we just bring the horses in and we'll get the goats over. I think we'll get the goats first, and then we'll bring the horses over, or horses in. Come on, goats. They were in that stall, just waiting there. Pigs, we're not doing anything with pigs. Pigs setup is how it was last hurricane and it worked perfectly. Come on, we're taking a little trip to the barn, guys. They have not been in the barn in a good while. Come on. Go on. They're like, am I supposed to cross this line? Usually I'm not. The goats are remembering where they go finally. Little pit stop for some weeds. And to the barn they go. Goats are in. Time to let the horses in. It's starting to rain again. Everyone is all wet from the rain. Places, people, places. Go in your room, Binky. All right, there we have it. We're just giving the horses their hay, and we got a flake for him right there, and then another flake. We're doubling up just because we brought them in a little bit earlier than usual, so they would be technically grazing outside right now. So we're making up for that time with an extra flake of hay. But Dinky is all set up in her stall with her hay. She has one flake of hay. She doesn't get multiple slices of hay. All the horses' grain is ready, so we're just gonna give them their grain and they'll pretty much be good to go. Grain for Blaze. Everything is done in the barn. It's just time to close up the barn now. Back one is done. Still didn't move the hay, but we don't have time, so we're just gonna close it down. My plan with the chickens is TBD at this moment. We still have many hours left, but this door is going down now. The gate will close like on it, if that makes sense. So we do have some chickens in here. These are just gonna stay in here, and then we're gonna try to wrangle the rest, or they'll just go to their coop, and then we'll close the coop. But for now, this is where they're gonna be. We're gonna keep the lights on, fans on, and we're good to go. We're trying to wrangle the chickens that are out. Mike just got one. He's chicken calling. Do your chicken call. He only has one in the coop with him right now. So this is not very successful. We are trying our best. Luckily, it's not raining right now, so we have a little bit of time. Will you catch the chicken? Ah, so close. Guys, I missed it, but he caught the chicken. Don't let her go, don't let her go. Strong chicken. Good work. Now we have like 8 left. That one is very hard to get. Hi, piggy. Just here to capture some chickens and let you guys eat. Nice. Give me the chicken. I'll take this one. I've got 2 birds in my arms right now. Mike's trying to catch the last one that's out here. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike, so close. He caught the bird, yay. So they have fresh grain. We just need to get these last 3 in there, and then we'll fill up their water, and then all of our animals will be accounted for, yay. Water is filled. Now it just needs to go back in the coop. We'll bring that feed to the barn, but this pasture is pretty much done. Pigs are fed for the night, technically. We fed them a bit early, but I'm sure they'd rather just be fed their full day's meal than not. So they're happily eating, and there's really nothing that we need to do. I'm confident in this barn. I'm pretty sure because we redid it all, like the whole roof, when the last hurricane happened, so this should be perfectly fine. Again, more bucket collection. We're grabbing all the buckets. There's another bucket over there that we're gonna get, and then bucket debris is cleaned up. Kitty cats, they are just gonna be hanging out until it gets bad, and then they'll all come to my back sliders and they'll beg to come in. And that's pretty much all we can do for the cats. There's no other options. This is what they like to do. We just flipped over this so that it doesn't go flying. That's fine. Mike, look, we flipped this one over. But we're pretty much done over here. Pasture's done. All these animals in this pasture are good. So I'm back inside, just making sure that the camera's all good, but you can see everything's nice and closed down in there. They're all just eating, not minding anything. So as of right now, we still obviously have power and everything, so we can see everything. Fans are on, lights are on, all as well, so I can check on them as we go. So we're pretty much like done with everything outside as far as animals go. There's nothing more that we can do. We brought the Ranger and we put it under like our lanai there. That's exactly what we did with the last storm. So we're just putting it there. We always just keep it there, and it's good to have like that close by. So if we needed, rather than walking, we can just hop on the Ranger, can go around the farm that way. So Ranger's sitting up there. I'll show you guys that in a minute. It's really not like a direct hit to us or anything like that, but we have built-in like shutters onto all of our windows. So same thing, like that storm, it's raining again. So we are just gonna wait just a little bit, and then we're gonna start to roll those down. We actually roll them down from the inside, but we always like to just make sure that they go down correctly on the outside. And then last thing that we pretty much have to do to be completely prepared is take everything off of our like back patio lanai and bring it under, just so that it doesn't fly around and hit our stuff or break when it flies around. So that's pretty much it. So we'll do that, and then we'll be pretty much done. So those are the last final things. So we were planning on getting this stuff out, but the wind's already made the umbrella fall over, and it bent my umbrella, so that was a bummer. So long, umbrella. It's been raining on and off. My poor umbrella. Luckily I did buy a new one the other day, but still I really liked this umbrella. Not good. We just need to move these things off of this deck. Our pool toys we just need to put up over here. Basically we're just lining everything up on the back here. Mike is working hard, moving everything. This is what it's like living in Florida, you guys. But we're just putting everything up against the back. Hi, Monster. We were just talking. I can't remember the timeline of when we got Monster, but I don't think we had Monster. No, pretty sure we did not have Monster during the last hurricane. So this is probably her first hurricane because she's a young girl. We only got her when she was like 4 months old. So it's your first hurricane. She doesn't know what we're doing. She's like, why do you guys move all my stuff? I think she thinks it's kind of cool. Oh yeah, he changed finally. He's no longer repping Creole. He got soaked. But we are not boarding up our backsliders like we did in the last storm just because it's not really going to be like that storm. But like I said, we will just roll our shutters down here in a minute. And the last things, those roll... See, it was good that we got the ones with the wheels.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to do things. Alrighty. Maybe there's a method to whatever he's doing, but we're letting him do it.
Why do you act like I'm a science project?
I don't know what you're doing. Mike is inside, rolling down our shutters from the inside. Yay! This is how easy it is. This is why we, no huge prep. We just put them down. All is well. Yay! We're ready for a storm. So we're just going to do this in all the rooms that have them, and we'll be good to go. All right, you guys. Well, that pretty much ends this vlog, and I will see you guys on the other side. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully we were just over prepping, and that's fine because that's what we have to do as responsible pet owners, in my opinion. And yeah, also being pregnant, I just would rather err on the side of caution at this point because we never really know what's going to happen with these storms. And, we live in Florida. Like I said, anything can really happen. So we are officially ready. We have like maybe 4 or 5 hours before the storm is technically supposed to like hit land, where it's supposed to hit. Who knows? But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, watching us prep for Hurricane Idalia, I still don't know how to pronounce it. Oh well, very weird name. Make sure you go and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn those post notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. All right, you guys, well, we love you, and we'll see you in the next one.